All right, the recording is started. I'm going to ask everybody to mute yourselves out and unmute when you want to, and we'll go from there. Well, maybe I should mute because I want to get the phones muted. I'm going to mute everybody. All right, I muted everybody, included the phones. So for those of you who called in on the phones, if you'd like to share, all you have to do is *6. I believe that will bring you on with us. I want to welcome everybody to our team call. We do this every single Monday night, and it's just a great time to be a part of GIA. It's always a great time, but I love Monday nights because I can see everybody that's out there, from Canada to the US. It's just awesome. And so tonight, we always start out with the good news. Now, I know there's a lot of good news out there. So who wants to share first tonight? Unmute and come on. Tracy.
See here.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm unmute. Okay. I am so excited about this Operation Hydration thing that you came up with, John. You know, that's how I joined GIA, was because somebody shared the water with me, because I was very skeptical because it's just water. And so after 2 weeks, I noticed such an amazing change in how I felt. And so that's my personal story when I tell people about it. And so now that we have this Operation Hydration going on, it has been so much fun. I got to share our story with 4 different people that we met at the Health Expo a couple of weeks ago, and one of the girls had gone on vacation right after that was over, so she never even did the water. So it was fun introducing her to the whole GIA story, and watching the video that we did with the 4 different ones telling their story. And then even every time they ask a question, I love our little short 2-minute animated videos, because they just tell the story so quickly, and when you're sitting in a cafe, it just happens so amazing. And so these girls are so excited about everything that GIA offers, because I always have to tell them about the whole GIA of GIA. And when I get to tell them about Linda and our personal development program and what has just happened with her and what we're fixing to do in February, they just get excited. And I think everybody's, you know, wanting and needing personal development and breaking through limiting beliefs and all that stuff that we do in GIA. And so I'm really excited. So the 4 girls that I talked to today, they're all doing Operation Hydration and excited about, and really hoping, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I really hope this works. So I'm very excited.
Well, it's fun to do the 3-ways with you, and I know that's what you're incorporating that in. Or is it just that I happen to call when you're with them? I just realized that. Are you doing the 3-ways, or is it just accidental?
Yeah.
Hey, so you said something about what's happening in February. What is happening in February?
Oh my gosh. In February, Alfred and Linda are coming to San Antonio at the Riverwalk Marriott Hotel in the downtown San Antonio. And we are going to do her second Discovering Destiny event that is incorporating her breakthrough training. And that's what I'm really excited about. I don't know how on earth she's going to get this all done in one day. I know she will, and it's going to be amazing. And then that's on the Saturday. And then the next day, we're having a GIA event for anybody who's interested in hearing more about GIA. So I know that after they do the Saturday with Linda, they're going to definitely want to do the Sunday with Alfred and Linda to learn more about our amazing company that covers the growth, inspiration, and abundance of your life.
Yeah, thanks for hosting that. I'm glad you're doing that.
I'm so excited.
And I know that those of us who've been through the breakthrough living training and just realizing what it's going to be like to incorporate both of those ideas together, it's going to be pretty amazing. So we're going to look forward to more information about that. I know we're kind of, we're 4 months out, probably pretty close, but a little over 4 months, but it's going to get pretty hot. So look forward to that. Tracy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Trace. Anybody else? Talk, White.
Hey. Excited here in Tennessee as well. Texas doesn't have all of the excitement, but we do share. We've got a good guest on that we met on our trip recently to go to Hawaii. Denise and her son's on tonight, and they're so new into the thing. We spent all afternoon working and practicing with Zoom, and so they made it. And we just, they're not officially in, but they're excited to the point that we invited them on tonight to be part of the team. So welcome, Denise, and your gang there.
Welcome, Denise. And Denise, just so you know, if you come to a team call, you're in. Welcome to the team.
Automatically. Thank you.
Automatic. Hey, thanks for joining us, and you are in good hands with Doc and Anita. Congratulations.
I'm sure I am. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, who's next? Come on.
Me too, me too, me too.
Dave.
All right, I jump on there. Just got off the phone with, you guys remember Jeannie Marie Ledoux? You've heard her a few times. She's been kind of quiet lately.
Right.
Yeah, she's had some physical issues, but she's gonna come roaring back. And I was talking to her about a rash that has developed on the palm of her hand, and she went to her doctor with it, and he said, "Had you ever considered that it might be your cell phone?"
Ooh.
I mean, just the fact that he would say that it might be your cell phone is huge. So she's going to run to Carlsbad and get a cell guard on her cell phone. And so we talked about that. We talked about Scott in Spain and how he's doing this big event and wanting to promote the eye water there. So we're looking at maybe doing something there, lighting a little fire in Spain. Then I'm real excited about the results I'm getting from the health fair I did last week. I kind of did two different avenues of approach there. I did the Operation Hydration, and the way I did it was I had people fill out these little cards here, and I said, I'm going to have just a few that I'm going to be able to choose to offer this free 1 week trial of our water. And they all got really excited about wanting to do that. Well, obviously, I'm going to have more than just a few, but I'm going to pace them out because Squirrel, I don't want to get overwhelmed with it, you know. So I'm just going to pace myself. So that was one thing. And then I had a sign that said free EMR assessments. And I talked to people about coming out to their houses to do a free electromagnetic radiation assessment. I did 2 today.
Wow.
And those people are probably going to be buying 12 packs of the Universal Guards and stuff. And then you just never know what's going to be down the line. So I'm having a blast.
So, Dave, every time I see you and talk to you like this, I want to be in your mind someday.
No, don't do that.
And I want to know what this squirrel thing is all about. I've got to figure that one out. But I do appreciate you. And here's the interesting thing about what Dave's doing is he's attracting people from all different kinds of ways, from an EMF point of view and helping people to safeguard themselves, from an eye water point of view. But once they're in the process, he's helping them to discover growth, inspiration, and abundance. And I think that's the most important thing that's what the squirrel was. Okay, that's not a squirrel, Dave. I'm sorry. I'll help you with that later. All right. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you. All right, who's next?
I'll go. Can I go?
Go.
Okay. So we don't want to talk about the little squirrel I cleaned out of my horse water bucket before I came here. Nope, we don't want to talk about that. I named it Dave. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about a lot of different ways. I was away, as you know, in my pink room. And first of all, I wanted to say that I had almost 2 years ago, hooked up with a New Jersey chiropractor who I just fell in love with for a lot of reasons. And it took, I would say, almost a year for him to get his water system, do a few things. And I hadn't seen him in an entire year because when I went back, he wasn't there. So I actually picked a different chiropractor there who I love very much. And now she's in the water Operation Hydration right now. But seeing him, he's tall, he's good looking, he's sort of, I don't know, between 45 and 50, athletic, he's a coach, he's this, he's that, you know, a lot of good things genetically. But he always had kind of a stressed look on his face. This time I saw him, it looked like he had an entire 10 years peeled off of his face. Not only was he smiling, but his skin just, you know, and he said to me, well, I said, are you drinking the water? Because the first time I asked him almost a year ago, he said he hadn't even set up the unit yet. It was maybe 2 months after he got it. And I'm thinking, all right. But then things got busy and I never checked back because he doesn't answer. I might text, but he doesn't answer. Anyway, so he said to me, is it all right if I drink a gallon a day? Because that's what I've been doing. I said, pretty much. It's all right with you. Anyway, that was really fantastic that he looks 10 years or more younger, and he's already young, but he looks, much younger. So I just wanted to say about, the different interactions, farmers markets, your doctor, your visits, on the plane. I mentioned this earlier. After our call tonight, I'm having a three-way with the fellow that I sat next to on the plane. All walks of life. And I had my travel unit there, so I was continuously making water to do the Operation Hydration. And I was just thinking about Dave, about he could do, for the assessments, the Operation Radiation. I mean, that could be the next operation. So that I'm giving that to you, Dave, so you don't have to make up a name. So I'd love for Marge, I see Marge back there, to talk about our trip coming up. We're going to Baltimore together for an cancer and Alzheimer's symposium. And she also has a gal with some pretty terrific results with her kidney stuff. So if Marge, and then I know there are other people on too, Karen and Laura, but if Marge could chime in, that would be great.
Great. Hey, Marge.
Yes. Okay, Kezzy, thanks. Well, I have a customer who's been bringing in her water for me to activate for 2 months now. And I knew at the start that she had a kidney condition, and I didn't make her any promises, but I said, just give it a try. Well, I didn't realize she was going to try quite so long, but that's okay. So she came in faithfully every week with about a gallon to gallon and a half of water for me to activate. And she came in last week all smiles, telling me that she had just gotten some blood work back, and her kidney filtration rate, which normally should be 60 and had been down to 33, which means it's stage 3 kidney failure, has now bounced up to a score of 51. So she was just so happy, and there's some other numbers in her blood work that were increased to the better because of, all we can say, it must be because of the water, of the eye water, because there's nothing else she's been doing differently. So she was very happy and very grateful, and she did decide to purchase a unit. And so we're happy about that. And so what's coming up in a couple weeks, actually a week from Friday, is Kezzy and I will be flying to Baltimore, Maryland, to be having a booth at a conference, as she mentioned, a symposium dealing with Alzheimer's and cancer treatment, alternative methods. And I've known this doctor who's in charge of it. He's a doctor at George Washington University. I've known him for 10 years because he refers people to me to buy natural cosmetics. And he's wanted me to come to Baltimore forever. And I kept saying, no, I can't go. But I said, I will come this time if I can bring the eye water. So amongst my other products that I sell. So I'm really excited for that. We don't know yet how many are going to be there, but there will be several hundred professionals attending this weekend conference.
And you're bringing the secret weapon, Kezzy.
Right. There you go.
Very cool. We look forward to hearing the results of that. I really appreciate you for all your postings that you do on Facebook, on our team page. It was great to see the picture of the person you're talking to, and just to see your face. It just means so much to see the people that are being impacted by our products and the concept of growth, inspiration, and abundance. So keep doing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
Hey, John.
Who?
I can come up.
Marie.
Hi there.
Oops.
Hi. Right. So this past week, Susan was with me here in Brantford, and she's done a lot of work. She's been seeing a lot of people, new people that we enrolled this week when we had a, like a gathering in my house. And there'll be more coming up at the beginning of November. And I'm also having a booth at an ECE banquet. It's all teachers, like 250 teachers there. And we're just going to bring all of this, the material there, and talked about the eye water and also the Terra products that we have to protect, because there's a lot of children here who has ADHD and also autism. We're like the capital of Canada for autism. So we just need to help to protect those children in schools, and probably some of the materials that we have here, some products may help. So we'll see what happens.
Pretty exciting stuff happening with
That's my
I was going to say, pretty exciting stuff happening with you and Sue together over this last week. And what we did with Marie had invited some people over, and we did the exact same thing that we do on Thursday night, which is our Gia Wellness Review, but we personalized it for her group. So I think it was Susan Kibbe, myself, Doc and Anita. We were on the Zoom, and we played the video just like we do on Thursday nights and went through the presentation. And of course, Sue was there, and she was able to do a testimonial. So we went through the presentation, and then Sue took over and did the demonstration. And I think you had, like, I don't know, 3 out of 4 guests that were signing up and getting going, and now they've already talked to other people. So if you've never tried that out, check it out. It's a really simple way to help someone new to do a presentation, because, you know, a lot of people, when you talk about doing presentations, it's scary, really scary. So you felt that worked out okay, Marie?
Yes, it did very well. We're very pleased. And
Good.
we're going to do it again 2 times.
Okay,
we're
great.
doing it on a Friday night and on a Saturday morning.
Oh, perfect. Now, Dorje, I got a message from you that you want to do the same thing in the next 2 dates coming up, so definitely will be available for you with that. Let's see. I know we're going to get to Karen in a second, and I know Karen's got a question for you, Dave, when we come back. So anybody else?
Hey, John. Sue
Eugene.
Gromberg here.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me on the Zoom. I just want to say I'm so inspired by the whole Zoom thing. I'm finally getting myself up to doing it with lots of different avenues of using the Zoom. And what we did this week, just a specific group of our team members who were really kind of very confused about lots of different parts of the compensation plan. So Don and I did a specific little Zoom call for them, and it was really so much fun, and it was very revealing to me. I was like, oh my gosh, how did I miss showing them that piece of the compensation plan? But the end result was that they're becoming more rank conscious around, you know, not only sharing, you know, the products, but also realizing that there's an enormous amount of income that can be made very quickly with Gia. So that was one of the cool things about the Zoom presentation and the way you can use Zoom. And another was, I wanted to share a testimonial. One of the gals is a body code practitioner. I don't know if anybody knows how that works, but it's anyway, she does a lot of different things besides that, like homeopathy and essential oils and so many other things. And she had really focused mostly on the EMF protection for herself, but she had just gotten an eye water system last month, and she was out working in the yard, and she got a bee sting on her hand. And she called me up late in the afternoon. She said, I have to tell you this story. This happened to me early in the morning. And she said, quite frankly, I tried everything, essential oils, homeopathy, and it was getting later in the day and her hand was all swollen. And she said, you know, I thought, what the heck? Everybody's been telling me this eye water is pretty amazing. I think I'll stuff my hand in a bowl of eye water and see what happens. And literally within about 15, 20 minutes, the swelling went down in her hand, and she was just stunned. And her comment was, I really feel bad that the bee had to lose its life in order for me to really realize what the heck I had my hands on. So she was really amazed, and she's now really taking a bigger view of what the whole layered effect of what the Gia products can do.
I know, that's so cool when that happens. even those of us who have been using iWater, we just use it. I mean, we've just been using it for so long. I know a lot of you are shaking your head, yes. And then something happens, like Chris left for a week. First day, I was opening a can of dog food, and it slipped my finger, my thumb.
Yeah.
The thing was iWater. Stopped it just right then and there. It's amazing, and you just get excited about that and wanting to tell other people. Thanks, Sue. Appreciate you for being on tonight. Invite your team to join us next week.
You bet.
All right, good. Anybody else? I know there's some people that called in. Does anybody want to share anything? Just star 6 and come on with us if you do have anything. Hey, Vincent.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Go ahead.
Okay. Last week I had a client come in and he comes in regularly for acupuncture, and he was telling me that he'd gotten some upsetting news from his doctor in regards to spots on his liver. So I was telling him that there were emotional factors involved in the last year, and I was telling him about the iWater. So he was quite interested in that, and he goes, well, you know, how much is this machine? And I tell him how much it is, and he says, oh, that's nothing, you know, considering what it does. I said, that's right. So anyway, he ordered up immediately. I said, well, do you want to try? Do you want to try the Operation Hydration for a week? No, I'm going with what you say and all of your own personal experience. And I wish everybody I spoke to was like that. Yeah, I'll buy it right away. And yeah, so he was pretty excited. Bang, he says, order it. And I'll pick up when it comes in. And that was the end of that. So it was pretty good.
Didn't it go that way?
Bert was talking to. Yeah, isn't it not that way for her? No, it wasn't. I was surprised. And Bert.
I know a squash player. I play squash with him 3 times a week, and he's got Parkinson's. And he's a member of the Association of the Parkinson's Disease in Canada. So I'm saying, listen, you have nothing to lose. He says, well, okay, I'll order a machine. And I said, you know, like, I'd like for you to share this. And the results right now that you will get, if it's advantageous to you, to share this for your board members for Parkinson's. So I'm anxious to see right now if it's going to be an impact on his health by using that water.
He's a young man, with Parkinson's.
Very
But
nice.
we'll see.
Great, good story.
And as far as the rest of my people that were joining the Operation Hydration, there was quite a few. We were aligning a lot of water, and some people are buying it versus purchasing the machine. It wasn't my first, go-to. I didn't think I was going to get in the business of actually aligning water, but other than that, there's another person interested in buying the machine. They're seeing some results, some detox results. Some people are noticing that they're happier. So that was something that one in particular person had a rough year, and she wasn't doing so good. And I gave her, a gallon of it. And I said, come back and get another gallon if you need. And she says, well, the only thing that I noticed is I'm much happier. So I thought, well, hey, that means the world for somebody who's had a really rough year and feeling depressed. So that was great. Yeah. So we've had a good couple of weeks.
Keep it going. I like that idea about being much happier. Good one. Thank you. Leslie, I know we were talking about stories. What were you telling me just a few minutes ago?
Oh, well, it was actually kind of a fun, energetic phenomenon, which was we were on the Happy Pocket call this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And just as Happy Pocket Full of Money, Dave's call, and just as we were signing off, I turned and I looked at my phone. It had lit up, and it was someone I had been texting over the weekend, and he said, I really need some more water, and I'm pretty sure I want, an iWater system. So I, thought, well, that's really interesting. So, just energetically here, we, he hadn't responded, for days, and then suddenly, boom, right there. So it was a really great conversation, and he'll be joining sometime in the next week. But I did take him more water, and I had a really full conversation with him, and it just, I don't know, there's something energetically going on. And I'm going to give a shout out to Karen this morning. The energy that her her story over the last few days with the events she's created, and just kind of this swell of energy we all felt.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest that my first response was kind of like, oh dear. And then I said, yeah, but Linda said, just excuse me on those thoughts. And I just shifted, and lo and behold, that energetic conversation kind of kept on the arc of that conversation kept on going, and boom, here's this call. So I want to shout out to Karen and really bless her being so open with us about her excitement and how it works for her, and with great deal of clearly with joy, but with a lot of heart. So I appreciate that very much, and I just wanted to say how that rolled for me today. So thank you.
That's a good example, and I'm sure you weren't the only one that was feeling kind of that what. But you know what? It's really good news for all of us. In fact, let's go to Karen. Thanks, Leslie. Hey, Karen, how are you? You recovering?
I'm good. I didn't know that I was going to be on the call. I probably look a little exhausted. I've been up and just running for the past 3 days, having so much fun. I'm just so grateful. And I was a little worried that people might have that feeling of, wait a minute, because it's easy to feel that way. And so after the call, I actually sent a thank you note to a woman who keeps reaching out to me. I'm not on her team, and she keeps reaching out and just praising every little thing. And I said to her in my text message back, I said, it's one thing to celebrate somebody's victories when you're getting a paycheck based on what they're doing. But it's another thing to celebrate somebody's victories when you're not getting a paycheck from what they're doing. As a matter of fact, it can be seen as a little bit of competition or just a little bit of a letdown, like how come that's not happening in the moment for me? And so I just want to share with you how grateful I am for Leslie just celebrating that little moment, because it's like we're all on this journey, and when one of us is up, another one may be down. It's like a wheel, and we all take our turn experiencing the joy of and the reward of the moment. And then we are there to celebrate each other's victories. And I'm just so grateful for those of you who are celebrating what's been happening here in Utah. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so glad that you brought that up, and Leslie, you too. And first of all, thank you for sharing this morning. And I don't know if you saw what I did, but we recorded the call this morning, and I took that segment and I posted it today. So it's on a link people can send to people. And I think that's what we all want to do. We want everybody to know what's possible with Gia. And when someone has the kind of success that's happening with Karen, and like she said, some people are up and some people are not so up, and then we ride the wave. And that's what I said. This is our opportunity to ride a wave that's happening out of Utah, and Kedzie and Carol and this whole thing. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And so I know the feeling you're talking about. When I was I was one of the first to join a company in the San Francisco Bay Area. My first company was called Meekend, and it was 1995. And so I sponsored a group of people, and it started to grow. But we were just kind of plodding along, and we had this way we did it, and it was just the way to do it. And we were growing and growing, and all of a sudden somebody sponsored someone that went crazy. I mean, they just blew it up. We didn't even know it was possible. Well, in the beginning of that, we were kind of like, what is going on? Who is this person? What are they doing? It was kind of that thought. And then we all decided, you know what? If they can do it, or she can do it, it was actually a she. If she can do it, we can do it. And all of a sudden, it started to go crazy. We all saw ways that we could do it that we couldn't see before. And so I think Leslie and I were talking about the 4-minute mile story. And you all know that back in the day, I don't know what the year was, but it was impossible to run a mile in 4 minutes. Nobody thought it was ever possible. The human body cannot do it. And then one person did it. And after that, it just opened the floodgates. And Karen, that's how I see you and your team. You're opening the floodgates, and we have a choice. We can ride the wave with you, and we can help push it. We can paddle as fast as we can. I get goosebumps thinking about it because I've been here before. And so this is an opportunity, and I'm so glad that all of you have chosen to join us tonight. And this is the message that I would love to get out to the GIA world and beyond, is that growth, inspiration, and abundance cannot be denied. It just cannot. It is something that there's just something happening. And Leslie, you talked about the vibration. And I've been around a long time, and I've never felt the coming together like we are with the group that we have on all different kinds of teams. And by the way, Bev, I see you there. I'm so glad you joined us, and Timmons tonight, and Vincent. And so next week, let's invite more people to be on our team call, because this is how the message is shared. It's shared person to person, and it's also shared in groups like this. And then when I record this call tonight, I'm going to send it out to all of you and share it with your teams and share it with people that you know, because this is the way. And one thing about Karen is she's a promoter. I don't know, Karen, if you cop to that or not, but when you find something, you tell the world about it, and you tell it in ways that are different than some of us. I mean, it's all over Facebook, and you're just out there. You just made a decision that you were going to tell the world about something exciting, and that's all we need to do. And so the last thing I want to say tonight about what you could do is you could tune in on Mondays with us, with Dave's Happy Pocket Full of Money Zoom call. It's at 8:30. It's amazing. We have come so far with what Dave is helping us to share about allowing and having this energy around us that's allowing things to happen. And that's what I see happening with all of us. So I really appreciate all of you for joining, taking the time to be with us tonight. Karen, thank you so much. Thanks to all of you who shared tonight. And just reach out to people. I was going to say,
can I say one little thing?
Yeah,
this is something that I am trying to teach my team, and I really appreciate it. I actually learned it from you, John, and from Ming, because you are not my upline, but you've been so appreciative and gracious. And today, one of my team came over who's visiting here from Arizona, and I told her, you know, something that I'm learning is to celebrate everybody's victory, and that's what makes us a family. That's what, you know, we may be in cross lines. I've been in companies where you're not supposed to even talk to a cross line. And today my prayer actually was to God outside. I just said out loud, help me to celebrate everybody's smallest victory, because upon one strength, another is built. And I want to be an altruistic businesswoman. And my husband called to me from upstairs. He said, today he called me and he said, Karen, I love you. And I looked up and I said, why? And he said, because I've known women that have become hardened by business, and you are soft. And I think that that is what I love about this company, is that it's safe to be soft. We are here, we are sharing because we care, because we love, because we want people to feel better and happier. And that as we do that, we can actually consecrate our business to God and say, you worry about the details. You know, I need to pay rent. You know, I need to, you know, there's things that I need to do financially, but I'm going to focus on the love, and I'm going to focus on being the kindest, most loving, giving, nurturing businesswoman or businessman that I can be. And so thank you, Leslie, for segueing that into a comment that I was just going to be here quiet, because I said way too much this morning, and I had no idea, John, you were going to ask me to say anything. But I love that in this business, it's safe to be soft, and I can do my business with love, and that I am sharing because I am caring. So thank you. Thank you all for celebrating.
Okay, Doc and Dave and the rest of you guys out there, I hope you heard that. We got to be softer. Thanks, Karen. Okay, Sue Bromberg, you want to say something before we go? No?
Unmuted. I just want to say, Karen, I think I called John first thing this morning to say you lit me up today, and it is such a thrill for you to be giving us the kind of enthusiasm and love that you are doing, because this is what's supposed to happen in network marketing, and especially in GIA, because this is the most unique company I have ever been a part of. And you filled me up and really lit up my day. So thank you so much. And everybody who's on this call, you did the same for me tonight. So I really, really appreciate you all. Thanks.
Don't go too soft on us, John.
Get to work, Dave. Get to work. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for being on. Sue Johnson, good to see you. Glad you made it home safe. And Theo, thanks for joining us. And we'll be back Thursday with the GIA Wellness Review. Tell everybody you can. See you then. Bye now.